Hello, I'm John Jannarone, Editor-in-Chief of Exec Edge. Very happy to be back at the ICR Conference here in Orlando, Florida, with our friend Carl Daikeler, who's co-founder, chairman, and CEO of the Beachbody Company, along with, this time we have another guest, we have Mark Goldston, who is executive chairman. Mark and Carl, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So as I mentioned, this is a company we know very well. We're going to get some great updates here, but for those of you who don't know this business, maybe Carl will tell us a little bit about the history, what Beachbody is all about, and tell us about BODi, B-O-D-I as well.
Okay, well, we started the company back in 1998, made our first sale of the first program that we started in 1999, a little abs, 7-minute abs program called Great Abs Guaranteed. And since then, it's progressed really variations on the theme, helping people get results with structured content that includes fitness and nutrition so that they've got everything that they need to deploy gravity and to manage their meal planning right at home so that they get a predictable outcome. And that's really, people think of us as the P90X company or the Insanity company, but really the way we look at it is we are a company with over 120 structured programs, all with a nutritional component and nutritional supplements to help people enhance their results or improve their results with sort of a health hack approach, so that within 21 days or 60 days or 90 days, they'll get the results that they're expecting. And that's been a model that is a flywheel, has been now 25 years and going, and it's got a formidable library that's helping millions of people every year.
Great. Now, Carl, if I remember right, you said something which sticks in my mind, that this is not a product that's meant for workout fanatics. It's for people who maybe don't even like to work out, right?
Yeah, well, we actually, I think we're a workout fanatic factory because we help people who aren't workout fanatics, that's me, as opposed to Mark, who is one. An absolute workout fanatic.
So we're yin and yang.
Yeah, exactly. But people who are self-motivated, they'll go to the gym and they'll figure it out. They'll walk into that sea of equipment and go figure it out. But for people like me, they look at that sea of equipment and go, oh no, I'm going to stay home. But what I realized when we started the company was that just with a couple of dumbbells and some good instruction, I don't even need a person to come over to count my reps for me. The TV can do that work for me. I just need to know that what do I do on Monday? What do I do on Tuesday? What do I do on Wednesday? So that at the end of the week, I know that I got a world-class experience. And then you go, well, I can do this and I feel good about myself. We call that health esteem. I'm starting to feel good about myself. I don't have my before and afters yet. But again, after 60 days, your whole world can change. And that's when we turn people from non-enthusiasts to big-time enthusiasts. And that's why it works for people.
Mm-hmm. Great. Let's bring Mark into the conversation. And if I might, guys, can I put my value investor hat on and ask you this? You got $500 million in revenue. Your market cap's a fraction of that. What's going on here?
It's a
What's
disconnect.
the market missing?
Yeah, it's a great question. The company went public, 2+ years ago. Yeah. The market cap was $3.9 billion. So I joined in June. I took no cash compensation. I took no restricted stock. All of my compensation is in stock options because of what I believe the underlying value was. So if you take a look at the asset base, the 120 video library is actually larger today than it was 2 years ago. The $250 million nutritional supplement business is still there. And we have a 14 million member base in our CRM bucket of people who are either former members or pre-qualified leads that in an industry with a customer acquisition cost around $100 could cost you close to $1.5 billion to acquire. So I looked at this casserole and said, how is it possible that this could be trading where it's trading?
Yeah.
The only thing that I could conclude was that people were concerned about the liquidity of the company. They were looking at the balance sheet, looking at the cash position, and they were betting that it was insufficient from a liquidity standpoint. So what we do is we have top 3 strategies that we lay out.
Yeah.
Cash, and then the third one, which is cash. And basically we are completely focused on buoying the balance sheet. We've de-levered from 50 million down to 35. All of our programs are generated on cash management. And when we do that, we will unlock our ability to then chase the growth initiatives that we've been working on and get this company to be valued where it was before. But right now, it's a little bit of a of a liquidity shock effect, which should not be there,
Yeah.
but nonetheless is. And so we're trying to allay those people's concerns, show a solid balance sheet, and then take the legacy of this company and the franchise that we've built and show people why it should be worth multiple times where it is today.
It's a good explanation, I think.
Thank you.
I've got to ask you, gentlemen, something. I've looked at a lot of businesses, various different sectors, everything from Netflix to HBO, Peloton, and churn is a big thing. Tell us how that works for you guys, because if I get what I need out of the BODi experience, am I going to keep it, or am I going to come back maybe the next year? How does this work?
Well, think about what you just said. So when you subscribe to BODi,
Yeah.
you're signing up for a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
So typically you're going to be not in great shape, and after you use this, get in much better shape,
Yeah.
if not terrific shape. At that point, if you fall off the wagon again, you're going to go right back to where it's the yo-yo dieting. It happens all the time. So you may not use it every single day for 12 consecutive months,
Right.
but you're going to leave yourself the optionality
Yeah.
to continue to go through the cycles that you go through, fit and less fit. Churn is a part of this business. So we have a very specific financial model that we worked on, which has how much does it cost us to acquire a customer, what's the churn rate of that customer, and what's the lifetime value of that customer. And we are very disciplined. We will not spend above the customer acquisition cost that works with our lifetime value. So churn is a part of any subscription business. Ours is actually world class in terms of how low it is. Most subscription businesses have churn rates that are well north of 5-6%. This is an industry that is known for that. We don't. So we're really pretty proud of the fact. I mean, Carl engineered an increase in BOD to BODi, which was a subscription change from $99 to $179, and the renewal rate stayed the same on the increased price, which shows you what the loyalty factor is of the people using the product.
And also, John, what we do, like those entertainment platforms, the key is showing people that you're not done innovating and that you're going to create content that's going to give them the next thing to do, the next great hill to climb, or the next great project. And so hopefully the subscribers go, I want to do that next, and then they renew.
The library value here is what really attracted me. If you think of the average user's got a 2 or 3 year life within the franchise.
Yeah.
Carl's been producing these things for the last 20 plus years. If you took our top 20 titles in our company, 15 of them are 2020 and previous, which is how valuable this library is. And so our job is just to make sure that the people who subscribe really realize the value of the library that they have access to.
This is interesting. I mean, it's more, would you call yourself a media company? I mean, it kind of feels like it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, every time somebody watches one of the videos, not only do we have the opportunity to inspire them to their lifestyle, we also have the opportunity to inform them of the nutrition plans and the nutritional supplements that can enhance their results. Pre-workout energize, post-workout recover, or a daily meal replacement with a formula around Shakeology, which helps people feed their body in a way that's uncommonly good for those of us who don't love vegetables. And that makes us a media company.
Yeah, and given that equipment is only like 3% of our business, we are essentially a health and wellness media company.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, you talked about the focus on cash, but Carl, can you talk to us a little bit about any specific cost-saving initiatives that have taken place recently?
Well, actually, and Mark's been instrumental in this because he's got such a great background in turnarounds. He's helped us look at, because as the founder, I love the whole thing, but he helped us isolate what are the value-creating allocation of resources and what are perhaps nice to have but not need to have. And as we started to see where the waste was, it just got easier and easier to narrow and narrow and narrow and get to this truly efficient machine without undermining the quality of content, without undermining our ability to compensate the field who is highly productive in acquiring new customers, and without undermining our ability to innovate. We've just got a much more efficient company and lowered the break-even base. Like what the team has done to take costs and waste out of the business has been remarkable. I mean, what do we've
Yeah, I mean, they did a beautiful job. Before I got here, they had taken $125 million out of the cost base since 2021.
Oh, wow.
In the last 6 months since I've been here, we found another $40 million on top of that. So that makes it 165. And we've taken another 1,000 basis points out of sales and marketing, which on a $500,000 run rate is another $50 million. So we found $90 million in the last 6 months on top of the 125 that we had previous. So you're at $215 million of cost savings in a business. So we've massively lowered the break even. And more importantly, we've built a ton of operating leverage into this P&L so that when we do start to get the growth, the flow through economics because of this operating leverage should be substantial. And that's a brilliant business model. And we're really proud of the work that's been done. The team, Carl and Mark Sweetan, our CFO, and the team did a great job prior to my arrival getting that 125 out. Getting this additional component we've got now, I think makes us really in a great position.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of cost you took out there. I was just going to ask you about the path to profits, and I think you were kind of getting into that. But it sounds like you need some growth to take advantage of that operating leverage. Now, are you going to invest for growth, or how does that look?
It's a great question. Our number one goal is to get to free cash flow positive and true EBITDA, not adjusted, but true EBITDA. That's where we're tracking to.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do that on our approach of generating cash movement devices, which we have all throughout the company. If you look at all of our programs, they're all generating cash. Once we do that, once we get to free cash flow positive, EBITDA profitability, at that point, we can selectively and smartly invest in the growth that will take advantage of the operating leverage that's been put into the P&L. But if you chase the growth too quickly, then you actually negate the benefit that you just got from lowering your break-even. First things first, cash flow positive, positive EBITDA. Then once you've done that, now you've got the vacuum effect on your P&L of taking advantage of operating leverage, which you'll get through growth.
Sounds like you guys are really disciplined.
We are.
Carl, you've been in this business a long time, going back to the DVD days. Spin it forward here, 2024. Tell us about the future of digital fitness. What's next? What's the next? Is it an innovation? Is it a new product? What are we talking about?
First off, it was VHS. Okay. And we were like one of the last remnants of producing VHS tapes. But then you're right, it's turned digital. And there's a couple ways that digital is extremely meaningful going forward. One is just layering on content that, and it always amazes me when you think after 25 years we've thought of all the ideas, but the pipeline of new content and solutions that people need is very rich. So it's really just about listening to the customer, understanding what their need states are, how many times a week do they want to work out, how long do they want them to be, what goal do they have, and then narrowing into that specific need state. Likewise, we've got 120 programs. And some people don't necessarily want to subscribe to the whole thing. They might just want to cherry pick the ones that are for them. So we're coming up with ways to package the content in ways that people can go, hey, I just want these couple of things or these few things, so that they don't need to necessarily have the Netflix of fitness. They want their solution in fitness. And that's where the beautiful thing of having 120 titles to be able to offer people so that they can customize it, personalize it, and basically create their own digital subscription platform for themselves. And I think that's going to be something unique to BODi and something unique for the customer who's maybe got larger subscription fatigue.
And one of the things we did, which is kind of a catchment mechanism, is we were like a bakery where there were no samples.
Right. Yeah.
So we had this massive, formidable fitness library.
Yeah.
But you really couldn't try it. So you had to sort of sign up and then you could see it. Well, I don't know if I want it.
Right.
So 6 weeks ago, we launched BODi Previews. We took all 120 titles and we have a full sample workout in every single title. So you could come in and say, I'm going to sample 120 different programs, see what it is, see if I like it, and then decide to join and become a subscriber, as opposed to saying I only get access to the library if I'm already a subscriber. This is going to open up a whole universe for us. And Carl and I are looking at partnerships. Where can we find large organizations who have major member bases, who are not in fitness, who want to use this as an adjunct to what they're doing? We could offer them our free previews layer, which is probably what, Carl, a $60 value.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd get it for free. And then if you like it, become a subscriber, then we could have a great relationship with a partner where they're essentially getting an affiliate fee.
So you talk about tailwinds, John, and where's the innovation? it's happening for us, really, with the advancement of GLP-1 inhibitor, the semaglutide prescription weight loss pharmaceuticals. All of those need a companion to help people change their lifestyle with fitness that'll help them preserve and build muscle mass, and nutrition so that while their appetite goes down, they're not malnourished. So people need to know, how do I work out? How do I eat? We are the perfect digital companion for that. We're already seeing demand in this space, to Mark's point, of partnerships. Those companies selling the prescription pharmaceutical weight loss alternatives need the companion, and we are the lifestyle.
I mean, we look at it. Look, if you analyze this market, it's 145 million people in America who are considered overweight.
Wow.
75 million are clinically obese. A lot of those people are too self-conscious or too unhealthy to exercise.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it, and I don't mean this to sound facetious, I think the GLP-1 industry is a shot in the arm for a company like BODi. Because if we can get somebody to lose weight so they feel better about themselves, and they are technically healthier, yes, they have to worry about their lean muscle mass, but they have to also worry about their cardio. So now they're in a position where they may not feel confident enough to go to a health club, but they'll work out in the privacy of their own home with this library of 120 videos, pick your solution. So we actually think they're going to bring more people into our TAM, our total addressable market, who previously would have been either too heavy, too self-conscious, or too unhealthy to exercise, which is completely understandable. So I think the GLP-1 drugs is going to open up a huge opportunity for us.
Well, that's really exciting stuff. Guys, we're going to leave it there. Carl, it's always good to see you, and even better having Mark here, the new executive chairman. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
Folks, just as a reminder, this company trades under BODi, the New York Stock Exchange. Carl and Mark, thanks so much for being here. I'm Jannarone of Exec Edge, signing off from Orlando, Florida.